Today we will discuss the relations between drug use and delinquency. The four main points I would like to hit on today would be the different type of drugs that our youth and our teens are being introduced to each day and every day. The next point I would like to hit is what are some reasons and factors as to why our teens and youth are resorting to these drugs. The next factor I would like to look at as well would be the drug use and delinquency and more of the relations between those two concepts. And the last factor I would also like to look at would be what would be some ways and strategies that help stop those drug use to our teens. Now, first I would like to ask you, do you know that your children and our teens are being introduced and shown drugs just about every day throughout their lives? Typically, many parents would like to not believe that, but I'm here to let you know that just about every day, our teens and youth are being shown many different drugs, such as alcohol, cocaine, crack, heroin, and marijuana. All these are available and accessible to our teens nowadays. Not only that, you have your other type of drugs that teens may get involved with, such as inhalants and vapors that they can inhale, such as glue, paint, markers, anything that they can inhale to get a drowsy state, a dizzy-like state. Not only that, you have your anesthetic drugs. These target your nervous systems and help slow down the nervous systems and everything that goes on with that. Not only that, you have your sedatives and your barbiturates, and as well as steroids being introduced to our teens. Steroids, you can typically find those with teens who are trying to bulk up in size, mainly with our athletes or any teens or students who are physically active in any case. Not only that, you have cigarettes and your designer drugs that many teens and our youth are being introduced to as well. Now, reasons for our teens going towards drugs have many different reasons. Socioeconomic reasons, such as the environment they live in may be a poor environment. Low self-esteem may affect them that resorts for them to go to drugs. Not only that, you have peer pressure. Nowadays, a lot of teens are doing drugs. They tell their friends to do it. They try to get their friends involved with doing these drugs. In doing so, a lot of teens try to be cool and say, okay, yeah, I'll do these drugs with you and whatnot when they know better than that they shouldn't. Not only that, you have family factors. Abusive homes, disruptive homes can cause teens to steer away, run away, and want to resort to drugs and do delinquent acts as well. They may feel like an outcast to their family when in actuality they really are not. It's just a situation that they're put in. Genetic factors also causes reasons. Mothers who abuse drugs or alcohol during their pregnancy, once the baby comes out and as they get older, they develop these symptoms where they are needing to use these drugs in order to survive. Emotional problems, such as teens nowadays, during their ages, they're going through relationships, a lot of issues, failing classes that cause them to be stressed, and one of them, they end up looking towards drugs to help calm them down and stress them and unstress them as well. Now, here we look closer more in the relations between drug use and delinquency. It's typically known for teens or anybody who uses drugs to resort to violent acts, commit crimes, and anything such. There's been studies shown in Miami as well where over 673 narcotics commit at least over 200,000 crimes annually throughout the year. Studies even show of people who abuse drugs and alcohol as such end up committing crimes and resorting to violence throughout their life due to these drugs. In continuation, it's been a big controversy that leads to as of, does drugs lead to delinquency or does delinquency lead to drugs? It's also been said that both of those factors are being implemented by another factor that's on another scale of these two. These also have been said that in relation that these two, drug use and delinquency, show signs of developmental issues which can become many problems for our teens and youth as they get older in their life. Now, what are some ways that we can control these drug use? Such as apprehending drug dealers up front, stopping drugs from the source, as well as hardening on street level drugs, which can be more helpful when talking about our law enforcement. Strategies included, as I was saying, was law enforcement strategies to get more involved. You have your source control, where our law enforcement and government typically go to other countries to stop overseas the crops, destroy the crops that are overseas, so they won't be brought back to our country. Not only that, our border control. We have border patrol that help maintain and provide services to see every type of thing that comes in our country and out of our country, whether it be drugs or any other harmful product. You also have your educational strategies. With your educational strategies, you have schools doing their part in teaching and explaining the different drugs that are out in our community and teaching to our youth on the harmful side effects from using these drugs. DARE, better yet known as DARE, does an excellent job of providing assistance and showing our teens the different drugs that can be provided to them. Then you also have your National Youth Anti-Drug Media Campaign shows the harmful side effects of these different drugs that you can have from doing marijuana, meth, cocaine, and such. You also have your community strategies. These community strategies help our youth get involved in our community, help counsel them on the reasons why they shouldn't do drugs, counsel them on different drugs and what to look for and what to avoid. Not only that, it helps them get more involved in their community and after school activities and whatnot to better have them off the streets and looking to do drugs or get involved with drug dealing and such. Now, the future for our youth and drugs on delinquency, it's a sticky situation. The U.S. has spent over $1 trillion in trying to stop drug use and the war on drugs. It's been shown in studies that, yes, it has helped. It has provided a great help in slowing down the drug use. But then also there's been another come up of, should we just legalize drugs? With legalizing drugs, studies have shown by that crime has decreased immensely. Now, I would say the choice is up to you. Would you like to legalize drugs and have your kids use drugs and your teens do drugs? Or would you rather do your part and to spend money and to help stop the war on drugs and help defeat the war on drugs? The choice is yours.